Welcome back. Glad you're here. So, I'm doing a lot of talking about myself, and the reason why is because, again, I want others to learn from the things that I've gone through, from my mistakes, from my wins. I just want to share. Um, and so that I can help someone in some way if it's even possible. I'm not saying that I can, but I hope that you find something or take something from what I have to say. So today I wanted to talk about fear because fear is crippling. It is paralyzing, and it is something that I've dealt with my entire life. So as a young person, as a very, very young person, it was I was called shy by my family and friends. And so I suppose in my adulthood, I've tried to work really hard to overcome that shyness, which for me as an adult, when I look back at it, I wasn't ever shy. It was always anxiety. Anxiety over performance, anxiety about living up to other people's expectations, anxiety about living up to my own expectations. And as an adult, in the past few years, someone called me shy, and I was offended by it. I was offended by it. I suppose because I've worked so hard to overcome that shyness, or even appearing as shy. But I'm absolutely reserved. I will continue to be reserved, possibly because that's just who I am. But I'm a lot more capable and able to talk to random people and strangers and you right now at this point. But I suppose it's taken me a lot to get here. And what I want to, is present is that at certain times in my life, I felt, I heard something or I saw something which just clicked in my brain. And I don't know why, these things happen, but to me, it's like a revelation. Something has been revealed to me, and it helps me to change and make correction and adjustments, which I talked about, in my last video. So, that goes back to the growth mindset is what I'm talking about. But I suppose having that growth mindset allows me to see, or be alert to those revelations or to those things that I hear that are really going to be life changing and groundbreaking for me. And so over the past 10 years, I suppose, I have been really working on courage. And if you know what I'm going to say, one of the people that I have, run across in my search for courage is Brené Brown. And I'm sure many people are familiar with her work, her books, her TED Talks, her Netflix special, whatever it may be. But it was a revelation to me when she said, or talked about the relationship between courage and being vulnerable and vulnerability. So it's hard to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. And we have to know that we're going to have to sit in that uncomfortableness of vulnerability so that we can actually be courageous. So courage is not the absence of fear. It is triumphing over it. So other revelations that have come to me in relation to fear, anxiety for myself. I was listening to a podcast a few years ago, And I can't tell you who the podcast was by. I'm so sorry. But this person said, she said that anxiety is strongest or stronger when we don't live up to our own values. Oh my gosh. That completely that completely changed, how I felt inside. So I realized that, you know, I have to work harder to live up to my own values because that is going to alleviate a lot of anxiety for me. And and then on top of that, I need to be accountable, for my actions. But it's easier for me to be accountable for my actions if I am actually living the fullest to my own values. Whatever your values may be, that's what you have to try to attain because you're going to feel uncomfortable in your own skin, or at least I did, felt uncomfortable in my own skin because I felt like I couldn't, live up to my own values. But why couldn't I live up to my own values? Because I didn't have enough courage. It's making me emotional because it is, it really was a revelation to me. And so recently I've run across a book called Cultivating Audacity. Oh, I just love the title. I just love the title. And so this book was by Anne Marie Anderson, just recently released. And one of the things that Anne Marie said was about embracing failure. And none of us wants to fail. Uh, and it takes courage to put ourselves out there. But when we acknowledge that we're not going to automatically be, successful at anything, at something, then we know that, failure is coming. But for me, I'm not going to see it as a failure because I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep moving past that. And so there is no failure if I keep going because I haven't given up on reaching my goal. But I suppose the point is embracing rejection, I think is what, she spoke about for herself. And that was, a failure. But we've got to embrace these things. If we can embrace these things courageously, realizing that this is something that, is going to inevitably happen, then we can make it, it's out of our comfort zone, but we can make it part of our comfort zone if we actually, seek it out, get used to it. Once we're used to it, it doesn't hurt so much. So here I am putting myself out here courageously because, doing YouTube videos is not something that I ever thought I would do. But here I am embracing fear and embracing rejection. So, we all can't move at the same pace. We're all at different parts of our story or on our journey. But if we can learn from some of, some small things along the way, then we're making progress. A little progress is better than no progress at all. I think, yeah. I think that'll bring you to the end of today's video. I'm just making it short and sweet right now and just trying to share some things that have really benefited me. So I hope to see you back here again.